Astrological podcast for Russia, August 25th to 31st, 2024, by Ambrosius Holloway. August 25th, 2024, The Dance of Power and Perception. Sun at 2 degrees 17 Virgo, trinatal Pluto, 18 Capricorn, 3rd house. In the quiet hum of late August, as the last vestiges of summer blend with the emerging crispness of autumn, a profound celestial alignment graces Russia's skies. The sun, steady in its Virgoan duty, forms a harmonious trine with the formidable Pluto nestled in Capricorn, deep within the 3rd house of communication and influence. This is no ordinary alignment. It's a symphony of power, poised to reverberate through Russia's corridors of authority and public discourse. Transformation in the heart of communication. Imagine the grand halls of the Kremlin, where decisions echo through the fabric of the nation. This aspect brings forth the potential for transformative discussions, conversations that will ripple through Russia's educational systems, media channels, and even the whispers of its citizens. Pluto, with its relentless quest for depth and truth, suggests that these dialogues will not be fleeting. They will lay the groundwork for long-term, profound changes. In the pages of history, Russia has always wielded communication as both a sword and a shield, crafting narratives that shape its image both within its borders and beyond. Under this trine, we may witness a push for reforms, tightening the grip on how information is disseminated and ensuring it aligns seamlessly with the state's broader, carefully curated narrative. Think of it as a subtle yet powerful shift, where the threads of control are woven ever tighter, ensuring that every word spoken carries the weight of authority. Reform and media influence. This trine breathes life into the potential for reforms, perhaps not overt, but strategic, subtle shifts that realign the media's role in Russia. Picture the delicate threads of a spider's web, each strand carefully reinforced, ensuring that the narrative spun from the Kremlin remains unchallenged and omnipresent. There's a sense of consolidation here, a drawing in of power where the state ensures its voice is the loudest, clearest, and most enduring. The steady hand of authority. Moon at 14 degrees 16 Taurus, trinatal Saturn, 14 degrees Capricorn, 3rd house. As the moon in Taurus serenely glides across the night sky, it forms a trine with Saturn in Capricorn, a stabilizing force that promises discipline and the firm establishment of structures. This is a night where Russia's communication channels, already robust, may find themselves further fortified. Stability in communication, the weight of words. In a nation where every word is measured, every message crafted with precision, this trine enhances the government's ability to consolidate power over its communication strategies. With Saturn's influence, expect a tightening of control, an environment where the dissemination of information becomes even more disciplined, more deliberate. Imagine the weight of tradition, the gravitas of history, as these forces work together to reinforce the reliability and stability of public discourse. Educational reforms and a controlled narrative. Russia's educational institutions may find themselves under this trine's steady hand, with reforms or regulations that align closely with governmental goals. The image of a well-oiled machine comes to mind, each cog, each piece of the apparatus, functioning in unison to project a controlled, consistent narrative. It's not just about what is taught, but how it is taught, with an emphasis on long-term sustainability and alignment with the nation's broader objectives. The fog of uncertainty. Mercury at 22:22 Leo retrograde, square natal Neptune, 21 degrees Pisces, 4th house. In stark contrast to the stabilizing aspects, Mercury in retrograde squaring Neptune casts a shadow of confusion over Russia's domestic affairs. Here, the landscape becomes murky, like trying to navigate through a dense fog where every step is uncertain. Confusion and miscommunication, a nation in flux. This is a time when words may twist and turn, losing their meaning as they pass from mouth to ear. Russia, a nation known for its strategic communication, may find itself grappling with misinterpretations and misunderstandings, particularly in matters of domestic policy and national security. The fourth house, symbolic of home and roots, suggests that these issues will strike at the heart of the nation's identity, creating ripples of uncertainty that the government must swiftly address. Revisiting the past, a time for reflection. Mercury's retrograde motion beckons a return to past decisions, perhaps policies that were hastily implemented or communications that were misunderstood. There's a sense of déjà vu, a need to revisit and revise to clarify what was once unclear. Picture the leadership poring over documents, revisiting speeches, and reconsidering strategies as they attempt to navigate the murky waters of public perception and national security. Misinformation and idealism, the danger of deception. Neptune's influence brings the danger of misinformation, like a veil of illusion draped over the truth. The public may find itself awash in conflicting narratives, unsure of what to believe. Meanwhile, the government may need to tread carefully, working tirelessly to ensure that its messaging remains clear and grounded in reality, lest it falls prey to the pitfalls of idealism or unreal. The art of diplomacy. Venus at 24°25 Virgo conjunction natal midheaven, 17 Virgo, 10th house. As Venus, the planet of beauty, love, and diplomacy, aligns with Russia's midheaven, the nation finds itself bathed in a glow of favorable public perception. This is a moment where Russia's image, carefully crafted and meticulously maintained, shines brightly on the international stage. A boost in public image, the world watches. Venus's touch is gentle yet powerful, enhancing Russia's ability to engage diplomatically, to forge new alliances, and strengthen existing ones. Picture grand cultural exchanges, art exhibitions, and diplomatic dinners, where Russia's rich history and vibrant culture are on full display. This is a time when the nation's public image, already formidable, receives a significant boost, one that resonates deeply with both its people and the world. Cultural and artistic endeavors, showcasing Russia's rich heritage. The midheaven, representing career and public standing, suggests that Russia may seize this opportunity to highlight its cultural achievements. Think of the Hermitage, its halls filled with art and history, or the Bolshoi Theater, where ballet and opera captivate audiences. Under Venus's influence, these cultural endeavors become not just expressions of national pride, but powerful tools of diplomacy, soft power at its finest. Diplomatic relations, the art of negotiation. This aspect also favors diplomatic efforts, making it an ideal time for Russia to engage in negotiations that could shape its future. Whether forging new trade deals, participating in global forums, or simply reinforcing its international standing, Russia's leadership will find that the world is more receptive, more willing to engage. Mars ignites conflict, the struggle for authority. Mars at 23°18 Gemini square, natal sun, 1 Libra, 10th house. In the midst of the August heat, when the air is thick with tension, the warrior planet Mars, restless in Gemini, challenges the very heart of Russia's leadership. This celestial battle is set to play out in the skies, casting a shadow over the nation's authority and stirring up potential conflict within its highest ranks. Conflict in leadership, the fire of Mars meets the sun's authority. Imagine the intricate dance of power within the Kremlin, where every move is calculated, every decision carries the weight of history. Now, picture Mars, the planet of aggression and war, squaring off against the sun, the embodiment of leadership and authority. This tense aspect doesn't just whisper of discord, it shouts of potential upheaval. Internal power struggles may emerge as different factions within the government vie for control, each one seeking to assert its dominance. The heat of this conflict could burn through the layers of diplomacy, revealing the raw, unfiltered struggle for power. Potential military actions, the sword of Mars in Gemini. Mars in Gemini is not just about words, it's about action, swift and decisive. This alignment suggests that Russia might be drawn into military or aggressive actions, particularly in areas governed by communication or transportation. Think of the strategic railways crisscrossing the vast Russian landscape, the communication networks that hold the nation together. These could become battlegrounds, either metaphorically or literally, as tensions rise. Conflicts with other nations or internal security challenges might force Russia to respond with assertive, even aggressive measures. Public authority at risk, a strain on Russia's global image. The 10th house, where this celestial clash unfolds, represents public authority and reputation. Mars' aggressive energy, squaring the sun, suggests that these conflicts could spill over, tarnishing Russia's carefully maintained image on the global stage. The leadership's authority might be called into question, not just domestically but internationally, as the world watches how Russia navigates these turbulent waters. The stakes are high, and the decisions made during this time could have lasting impacts, reshaping Russia's standing in the global arena. Decision-making under pressure, the crucible of conflict. Under the pressure of this square, the Russian government may find itself forced to make rapid, high-stakes decisions. The kind of decisions that can't wait, that must be made in the heat of the moment. These decisions, born of necessity and conflict, will shape the nation's future, either solidifying its power or exposing cracks in its foundation. The outcomes will not only influence Russia's domestic landscape, but will also ripple across borders, affecting international relations and global perceptions. Saturn's heavy hand, the burden of communication. Saturn at 1701 Pisces retrograde, opposition natal Mercury, 19 Greek Virgo, 9th house. As Mars stirs conflict, Saturn, the great taskmaster of the zodiac, casts its heavy shadow over Russia's communication and international relations. This is not a time for quick decisions or easy solutions. Instead, it is a period marked by delays, restrictions, and the need for sober reflection. Challenges in international relations, the weight of Saturn. In the grand halls, where diplomats tread carefully and every word is measured, Saturn's retrograde opposition to Mercury suggests that Russia may face significant hurdles in its international dealings. The 9th house, ruling over foreign affairs, legal matters, and higher education, comes under intense scrutiny. Diplomatic negotiations may stall, legal reforms could be delayed, and international partnerships might face unforeseen challenges. Picture the frustration of endless talks, the grinding halt of progress as obstacles arise that seem insurmountable. Legal and educational reforms, the frustration of delay. Russia's ambitions in legal and educational reform are likely to hit a wall during this period. Saturn's retrograde motion points to unresolved issues from the past, perhaps decisions that need to be revisited, mistakes that must be corrected before progress can be made. It's a time for patience, for methodical work where every step forward is hard-won. Educational institutions may find their plans for expansion or reform slowed as the weight of bureaucracy and tradition presses down. Communication barriers, the silence of Saturn. In the realm of communication, particularly with international partners, the road is fraught with difficulties. Misunderstandings and delays could hinder progress, and the usual channels of diplomacy may seem clogged, as if the very words needed to move forward are caught in a web of confusion. Saturn demands careful, deliberate communication. There's no room for error, no margin for misinterpretation. The need for patience and planning, Saturn's stern lesson. Saturn's influence is a stern teacher, reminding Russia that now is not the time for rash decisions. Patience and careful planning are the orders of the day. The challenges posed by this opposition are not insurmountable, but they require a steady hand, a clear mind, and the willingness to confront obstacles head-on. The leadership must approach these issues with the understanding that the road ahead is long, and each step must be taken with care. August 26, 2024, the light of opportunity, economic growth on the horizon. Sun at 3:15 Virgo, sextile natal Jupiter, 3 Scorpio, second house. As the shadows of conflict and restriction loom large, a ray of light breaks through the clouds. The Sun in Virgo forms a harmonious sextile with Jupiter in Scorpio, casting a glow of optimism over Russia's financial prospects. This is a time where opportunities for growth and expansion are not just possible, they are likely. Economic growth and resource expansion, the promise of prosperity. In the second house, where wealth and resources are governed, this sextile between the Sun and Jupiter signals a period ripe with potential. Picture the vast Siberian landscapes, rich with untapped resources, or the bustling markets of Moscow, alive with the energy of trade. Russia may experience positive developments in its financial sector, with opportunities for economic growth that could significantly enhance the nation's wealth. Whether through international trade, strategic investments, or the careful management of resources, the foundations of Russia's economic strength are poised to grow even stronger. Favorable conditions for investment. Jupiter's blessing. Jupiter's expansive nature, coupled with the Sun's practical Virgoan energy, creates a fertile ground for investment. Imagine the influx of foreign capital, the signing of lucrative trade deals, the launch of ambitious new projects, all underpinned by this supportive aspect. Russia might find itself attracting new investments, particularly in areas where it holds a competitive edge, such as natural resources, energy, or technology. The conditions are right, the timing perfect, for Russia to seize these opportunities and turn them into long-term gains. International trade and strategic alliances, building bridges to prosperity. This aspect also bodes well for Russia's international trade efforts. The sextile's positive energy could ease negotiations, leading to strategic alliances that bolster Russia's influence on the global stage. Picture the signing of trade agreements that open new markets, the forging of partnerships that strengthen Russia's economic ties with key nations. These alliances, formed under the auspices of Jupiter's generosity, are likely to be mutually beneficial, laying the groundwork for sustained growth and prosperity. Increased national wealth, the fruits of strategic planning. Overall, this aspect points to a period where Russia can significantly increase its national wealth through smart economic policies and strategic partnerships. The leadership's focus on financial stability and growth is set to pay off, bringing tangible benefits to the nation. The seeds planted now under this auspicious alignment will bear fruit in the months and years to come. The gentle power of compassion, a time for healing. Moon at 28°14 Taurus, sextile natal Neptune, 21° Pisces, 4th house. As the day unfolds, the Moon in Taurus forms a gentle sextile with Neptune in Pisces, casting a soft, soothing light over Russia's domestic affairs. This is a moment for healing, for connecting with the deeper currents of national identity and spiritual well-being. Empathy in domestic affairs, the heart of the nation. In the 4th house, where the soul of the nation resides, this aspect brings a wave of empathy and emotional sensitivity. Picture the quiet, enduring strength of the Russian countryside, the deep connection to the land, the shared history that binds the people together. The influence of Neptune, the planet of dreams and spirituality, suggests that this is a time for Russia to focus on the well-being of its people, to address underlying social issues with compassion. There may be initiatives aimed at healing the divides within the nation, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. Spiritual and cultural projects, a celebration of identity. This aspect could inspire the Russian government to promote cultural or artistic projects that resonate deeply with the public's emotions and national identity. Imagine grand celebrations of Russian heritage, the revival of traditional arts, or the promotion of spiritual practices that bring the nation closer to its roots. These projects, born of Neptune's influence, are not just about aesthetics. They are about connecting the people to something greater, something that transcends the everyday struggles and unites them in healing domestic issues, the power of compassion. Neptune's gentle touch brings a period of healing to Russia's domestic affairs. If there have been recent tensions or conflicts, this aspect suggests that the time is right for resolution. The government may take steps to address these issues through policies that emphasize compassion and collective well-being. This is a moment to reinforce the nation's core values, to remind the people of their shared identity and purpose. National identity and values, a return to roots. Finally, this alignment supports efforts to reinforce Russia's national identity and core values. Public messaging may focus on the country's cultural and historical strengths, fostering a sense of pride and belonging. The moon's sextile to Neptune encourages a return to the roots, to the traditions and values that have sustained the nation through countless challenges. This is a time to celebrate what it means to be Russian, to honor the past while looking forward to a future built on unity and shared purpose. Venus strengthens bonds, the foundation of stability. Venus at 25 degrees 38 Virgo natal Saturn, 14 degrees Capricorn, 3rd house. The stabilizing hand of Venus and Saturn, building enduring alliances. As the cool light of dawn spreads across Russia's vast landscapes, a celestial harmony unfolds, casting its influence over the nation's halls of power. Venus, the goddess of love and harmony, aligns with Saturn, the stern architect of structure and discipline, in a trine that stabilizes and fortifies Russia's key relationships. This is a time when the bonds that hold the nation together, both within its government and in its dealings with the world, are reinforced with a strength that promises endurance. Strengthening business and government relationships, the ironclad bonds. Picture the intricate web of alliances, agreements, and commitments that form the backbone of Russia's government and business sectors. Under this favorable alignment, these bonds are not just maintained, they are strengthened. Venus, with her soft touch, brings a harmonious energy to the negotiation table, while Saturn ensures that these agreements are built on a foundation of discipline and long-term vision. It's a perfect blend of diplomacy and pragmatism, where relationships, whether between states or corporate giants, are solidified with the promise of mutual benefit. This is an opportune moment for Russia to seal deals, form new alliances, or reinforce existing ones, particularly in the realms of business and government. Imagine the careful, deliberate crafting of agreements that will stand the test of time, each one a building block in Russia's grand strategy. Government, communication, and media strategy, crafting the perfect message. In the 3rd house, where communication reigns supreme, this aspect breathes new life into Russia's media strategies and government messaging. Think of the speeches delivered, the policies announced, the subtle yet powerful messages conveyed through every channel. Under Venus and Saturn's guiding hands, these communications are not just effective, they are masterful. The government may roll out new policies or reinforce existing ones, carefully crafting messages that resonate deeply with both domestic and international audiences. This is the time when Russia can successfully communicate its goals, ambitions, and values, aligning them with the long-term objectives of the nation. The words spoken now, the images projected, will echo far into the future, helping to shape Russia's narrative both at home and abroad. Artistic and cultural initiatives, a renaissance of Russian culture. Venus's influence also extends into the realms of art, culture, and education. Imagine the grand cultural initiatives, the revival of artistic projects, the promotion of educational reforms, all designed to celebrate and preserve Russia's rich heritage. Under this alignment, these initiatives are not only conceived, but are also given the structure and support needed to thrive. The government might lend its support to projects that aim to enhance Russia's cultural capital, reflecting a commitment to the arts and education as vital components of national identity. This is a time for the nation to shine through its cultural contributions, reinforcing its place on the world stage as a bastion of intellectual and artistic excellence. Stability and responsibility, the steady hand at the helm. Overall, this trine between Venus and Saturn lays a foundation of stability and responsibility in Russia's relationships and commitments. It's a favorable time for making decisions that require long-term planning, especially those involving strategic communication or partnerships. The energy of this alignment supports deliberate, thoughtful action, where each step is taken with an eye on the future, ensuring that today's decisions will benefit Russia for years to come. August 27, 2024, the clash of titans, tension and aggression in the workplace. Sun at 4°13 Virgo square, natal Mars 16° Sagittarius, 6th house. Tensions rise. The Sun battles Mars in the workplace. As the day begins, the Sun in meticulous Virgo locks horns with Mars in fiery Sagittarius, creating a square that bristles with tension and conflict. This celestial clash brings challenges to the forefront, particularly in Russia's workplaces and public service sectors. It's a time when the drive for efficiency and order, represented by the Sun in Virgo, meets the fiery assertiveness of Mars, leading to potential confrontations and power struggles. Tensions in the workplace, the heat of conflict. Picture the bustling corridors of Russia's governmental offices, the military command centers, the hospitals, and public service departments. Under this square, these environments are charged with tension. Authority figures may find themselves at odds with workers or subordinates, leading to disputes over policies, working conditions, or military directives. The Sun's focus on precision and order clashes with Mars's impatience, creating friction that could disrupt the smooth functioning of these vital sectors. This is not just about minor disagreements. This aspect can bring to the surface deep-seated frustrations, leading to significant challenges in maintaining harmony and productivity. The energy in these environments is likely to be strained, with the potential for conflicts that need careful handling to prevent escalation. Public health and military issues, a powder keg of tension. The 6th house also governs public health and military affairs, areas that are particularly sensitive to this square. Russia might face challenges in managing military operations or public health initiatives, as the tension between the Sun and Mars pushes these issues to the brink. There could be aggressive actions or confrontations, whether in the form of military maneuvers or public health crises that demand immediate attention. Leadership will need to navigate these choppy waters with caution, as the square between the Sun and Mars can lead to impulsive decisions made under pressure. The stakes are high, and the potential for missteps is significant. Every move must be calculated to avoid long-term negative consequences. Aggressive actions and decision-making, the sword of Mars. Under the influence of this square, decision-making is likely to be fraught with aggression and haste. Mars's energy, when challenged by the Sun, can lead to rash actions, decisions made in the heat of the moment that may later be regretted. For Russia, this could mean hasty military actions, quick policy changes, or sudden shifts in public health strategies. The leadership will need to keep a cool head, focusing on maintaining control and avoiding unnecessary conflicts, particularly in the high-pressure environments governed by the 6th house. Need for careful handling, navigating the storm. This aspect is a reminder that not every challenge can be met with force. Careful handling of the tensions it brings is crucial. Russia's leadership must focus on maintaining order and avoiding the pitfalls of impulsive decisions. In the workplace, in military affairs, and in public health, the emphasis should be on collaboration, thoughtful planning, and the careful management of resources to weather this storm. Emotions run high, the surge of Martian energy. Moon at 11°52 Gemini conjunction natal Mars, 16° Sagittarius, 6th house. The Moon meets Mars, a surge of emotional intensity. As the Moon journeys through Gemini, it comes into conjunction with Mars in Sagittarius, igniting a surge of emotional energy that reverberates through Russia's service sectors and workplaces. This conjunction is a powerful alignment, one that heightens emotions, fuels assertiveness, and drives people to act, sometimes impulsively, sometimes with great determination. Heightened emotional energy, the pulse of the nation. In the daily grind of Russia's public service sectors, the Moon's conjunction with Mars brings a wave of emotional intensity. Picture the heightened activity, the urgency, the sense of pressure that seems to permeate every decision, every action. Emotions are likely to run high, with people more prone to react quickly, sometimes too quickly, to the situations they face. This is a time when the usual calm and measured approach may give way to more spontaneous and perhaps more aggressive responses. The energy is urgent, almost frantic, as if every moment demands immediate attention and action. Increased stress in service sectors, a test of resilience. The 6th house, governing public service, health, and military matters, is under significant strain during this conjunction. The pressure to address issues swiftly may lead to increased stress in these areas, testing the resilience of Russia's institutions and the people who work within them. The atmosphere is charged with a sense of urgency that could lead to quick decisions, some of which might be made under duress. Leaders and workers alike may feel the weight of this energy, pushing them to act decisively, even if it means taking risks. The key will be to channel this drive constructively, using the heightened energy to solve problems rather than creating new ones. Potential for aggressive actions, the Martian drive. With Mars in the mix, there is always the potential for assertiveness to tip into aggression. In a national context, this could manifest as increased military activity or a strong response to public health challenges. The energy of Mars can be both a sword and a shield. If wielded wisely, it can protect and advance national interests. If wielded recklessly, it can lead to conflict and division. Russia's leadership will need to be mindful of this balance, using the Martian energy to push forward where necessary, but always with an eye on the long-term consequences. Quick decisions, the risk of impulsivity. This conjunction also brings the potential for quick decision-making. Leaders may feel pressured to act swiftly, making snap judgments in response to fast-moving situations. While this can be beneficial in urgent scenarios, it also carries the risk of hasty or poorly considered actions. The challenge will be to harness the energy of this aspect in a way that is both effective and measured, ensuring that decisions are not just quick, but also sound. Mars trine Jupiter, the drive to expand. Mars at 24°34 Gemini trine natal Jupiter, 3° Scorpio, 2nd house. The power of expansion, Mars and Jupiter unite. As the day progresses, Mars forms a trine with Jupiter, creating an alignment that is nothing short of powerful. This aspect is a beacon of support, encouraging expansion, growth, and assertive action, particularly in the areas of finance, resources, and national security. It's a moment when Russia's ambitions can be pursued with vigor and confidence, supported by the expansive energy of Jupiter and the drive of Mars. Supportive energy for financial ventures, the wealth of nations. Mars, the planet of action, aligns harmoniously with Jupiter, the planet of expansion, in a trine that bodes well for Russia's financial and resource-related endeavors. Picture the strategic moves, the calculated risks, the bold investments, all supported by this powerful aspect. Russia is well positioned to pursue ventures that enhance its wealth, whether through investments, resource acquisition, or other financial strategies. This is a time when assertive actions are likely to pay off, with the trine providing the momentum needed to drive these initiatives forward. The potential for financial gain is strong, and the opportunities for growth are there for the taking. Military and national security, a shield of strength. The second house also relates to national security and resources, and the Mars-Jupiter trine suggests that Russia's actions in these areas will be both effective and successful. Whether through military operations, defense strategies, or resource management, the nation's efforts are likely to yield positive results. This is a time when assertive actions in defense of national interests are not only supported but encouraged by the stars. Russia's leadership can move forward with confidence, knowing that the actions taken during this period are likely to strengthen the nation's position both domestically and internationally. Opportunities for expansion, reaching beyond the horizon. Jupiter's influence is all about growth and expansion, and when aligned with Mars, it suggests that Russia may find new opportunities to extend its influence or secure additional resources. This could involve strategic initiatives that align with the nation's broader goals, such as expanding its economic or military reach. The energy of this aspect is forward-moving, optimistic, and bold. It's a time to think big, to reach for the horizon, and to pursue ambitious goals with the assurance that the cosmos is offering its support. Constructive use of energy, the key to success. Overall, the Mars-Jupiter trine is highly favorable for Russia, providing the drive and energy needed to achieve ambitious goals. The key will be to channel this energy constructively, focusing on long-term gains rather than short-term victories. With careful planning and decisive action, Russia can use this aspect to its full advantage, ensuring that the opportunities presented during this time are fully realized. August 28th, 2024, The Unpredictable Heart, Domestic Affairs on the Edge. Sun at 5-11 Virgo opposes natal Uranus, 7 Pisces, 4th house. The tension of opposition, a nation faces sudden shifts. As the sun in meticulous Virgo casts its light across the skies of Russia, it faces an intense opposition with Uranus in the mystical depths of Pisces. This cosmic clash occurs within the sacred 4th house, the domain of home, national identity, and internal security. The stage is set for a day of unpredictable upheavals, where the very foundation of the nation could feel the tremors of sudden change. Sudden changes in domestic affairs, the unsteady ground beneath. Imagine the solidity of Russia's domestic landscape, normally as enduring as its vast steppes and forests, suddenly shaken by unforeseen events. This opposition signals a time of instability in the heart of the nation's home life. Policies may be overturned, unexpected developments could disrupt the usual order, and the sense of national security might be challenged in ways not easily anticipated. It's as if the ground itself shifts beneath the feet of the Russian people, demanding swift adaptation. Challenges to national identity, the rebellious spirit of Uranus. Uranus, the planet of rebellion and innovation, does not move gently, it jolts and awakens. Its opposition to the sun suggests a period where Russia's national identity could face significant challenges. There might be movements or voices rising from within, pushing for modernization, change, and even radical reform. These forces could clash with more traditional values, leading to a tension between the old and the new, the established and the revolutionary. The question hangs in the air. How will Russia balance its deep-rooted sense of identity with the winds of change that Uranus insists on bringing? This is a moment where the leadership must navigate carefully, respecting the past while considering the inevitability of the future. Need for quick adaptation, the pressure to innovate. In the face of such disruptions, the government will need to act swiftly and creatively. This is not a time for hesitation. Whether through the implementation of new policies or the introduction of reforms, the response must be both innovative and stabilizing. The challenge lies in maintaining control while embracing the necessary changes, ensuring that the nation does not lose its balance during this period of turbulence. Potential for revolutionary ideas, a call for change. The influence of Uranus also brings with it the seeds of revolutionary ideas. These are not mere whispers, they are loud, insistent calls for change that could resonate across the nation. Movements aimed at reforming domestic policies or reshaping the national identity may gain momentum. Russia's leadership will be under pressure to either adopt these new ideas or find a way to integrate them without causing too much disruption. It's a delicate dance, one that requires both foresight and flexibility. The harmonious connection, leadership, and the public. Moon at 25 degrees 11 Gemini, sextile natal sun, Libra 10th house. The gentle touch of sextile, strengthening the emotional bond. As the moon glides through the lively air of Gemini, it forms a gentle sextile with Russia's natal sun in Libra, stationed in the 10th house of leadership and public image. This aspect brings a soothing balm to the nation, enhancing the emotional connection between the government and the people. It's a moment where leaders can speak to the hearts of the populace, fostering unity and trust. Harmonious public relations, a time to connect. Envision the leadership of Russia, standing before its people, not just as rulers, but as figures of trust and guidance. This sextile creates an ideal atmosphere for fostering positive public relations. Whether through a major public address, a policy announcement, or a national campaign, the connection between leaders and citizens is likely to be warm and supportive. The mood of the nation, reflected in the moon's light, is one of openness and receptivity. This is an opportune moment for the government to engage with the public, to listen, to communicate, and to build on the emotional bonds that tie the nation together. The message delivered now will likely resonate deeply, fostering a sense of shared purpose and collective well-being. Emotional connection with leadership, the power of empathy. The 10th house is where a nation's leadership is most visible, where the public image is shaped and projected. Under this sextile, the moon's emotional influence enhances the leadership's ability to connect with the people on a deeper level. The diplomacy and balance of Libra combine with Gemini's communicative energy to create decisions and actions that are in tune with the public's desires and needs. Leaders who tap into this energy will find that their actions are well received, their intentions understood and supported by the populace. It's a time to reinforce the bonds of trust, ensuring that the government's moves are seen as aligning with the nation's best interests. Support for national interests, unity through shared goals. During this time, decisions and initiatives are likely to align harmoniously with national interests. The public mood is one of cooperation and support, making it easier for leaders to push forward with agendas that benefit the country as a whole. Whether through diplomacy, public policy, or cultural initiatives, the actions taken now will likely strengthen the nation's unity and resilience. August 29th, 2024, the flow of ideas, a time for diplomatic excellence. Sun at 6-9 Virgo trine in natal Mercury 5 Libra 9th house. The grace of trine, intellectual and diplomatic flourishing. As the sun continues its journey through Virgo, it forms a harmonious trine with Mercury in Libra, lighting up Russia's 9th house of international relations, higher education, and legal matters. This aspect is a beacon for communication, intellectual pursuits, and diplomacy, offering Russia a golden opportunity to excel on the global stage. Favorable for communication and diplomacy, the art of negotiation. Picture the corridors of international diplomacy, where every word, every gesture carries weight. Under this trine, Russia's ability to engage in effective communication and negotiation is enhanced to a remarkable degree. The flow of ideas is smooth, the exchange of information is clear, and the potential for successful diplomatic initiatives is high. Whether in boardrooms, at the negotiation table, or through cultural exchanges, Russia's voice will be both heard and respected. This is a time for Russia to push forward with its international agenda, to engage in meaningful dialogue, and to forge agreements that reflect the nation's strategic goals. The energies of Virgo and Libra combine to support diplomacy that is both practical and fair, making it easier to navigate complex international issues. Positive developments in international relations, building bridges. The harmonious energy of this trine extends to Russia's relationships with other nations. It's a period where positive developments in foreign relations are not just possible, they are likely. Whether through trade agreements, cultural exchanges, or diplomatic negotiations, the connections made now will be beneficial for Russia's standing in the world. The trine supports a flow of constructive communication, making it easier to find common ground and mutual benefits. For Russia, this is an ideal time to strengthen its international partnerships, to build bridges rather than walls, and to position itself as a key player on the global stage. Intellectual and legal pursuits, success in academia and law. Beyond diplomacy, this aspect also favors intellectual and legal pursuits. The ninth house governs areas such as higher education, publishing, and legal frameworks, and the trine between the Sun and Mercury suggests that Russia will find success in these fields. Whether it's the publication of significant works, the introduction of legal reforms, or advancements in academia, the energies at play are supportive and conducive to progress. Russia's thought leaders, educators, and legal experts will find this period particularly fruitful, with the potential for their work to gain recognition and influence both domestically and internationally. The struggle for control, power, and emotion in conflict. Moon at 8°13 Cancer squares natal Pluto, 18° Capricorn, 3rd house. The challenge of the square, emotional power struggles unfold. As the moon moves through Cancer, it squares Pluto in Capricorn, setting the stage for a day of intense emotional power struggles within Russia. The square is a challenging aspect, one that brings friction, tension, and the potential for transformative conflict, particularly in the realms of communication, media, and public discourse. Emotional power struggles, the battle for narrative control. In the heart of Russia, where the public voice and media channels are powerful tools, this square stirs deep-seated conflicts. The moon, representing the emotions and the public mood, clashes with Pluto, the planet of power, control, and transformation. This tension could manifest as struggles over who controls the narrative, how information is presented, and whose voice is heard. Imagine the fierce debates, the power plays, the behind-the-scenes maneuvering as different factions within the media, government, and public vie for control. The stakes are high, and the emotions driving these conflicts are intense, potentially leading to significant shifts in how information is managed and disseminated. Challenges in media and communication, the struggle for truth. The 3rd house, where Pluto resides, governs communication, media, and information. Under the influence of this square, Russia may face significant challenges in these areas. There could be attempts to manipulate or control the flow of information, leading to clashes between different interests within the nation. The struggle for truth, or the perception of it, becomes a battlefield, with each side attempting to assert its version of reality. This is a time when the media landscape may experience upheaval, with potential consequences for public perception and national unity. The conflicts that arise now could lead to long-term changes in how Russia manages its communication and media strategies. Transformative pressures, a time of deep change. While the square is challenging, it also brings the potential for transformation. Pluto's influence is never gentle, but it is powerful, capable of driving profound changes that reshape the landscape. The conflicts and struggles of this period may lead to a restructuring of power dynamics within Russia's media and communication sectors. It's a time of pressure, but also of possibility. The challenges faced now could ultimately result in a more controlled and regulated media environment, where the lessons learned from these struggles are applied to create a stronger, more resilient system. The harmony of beauty and spirit, a cultural renaissance. Venus at 29 degrees 19 Virgo sextiles natal Neptune 21 degrees Pisces, 4th house. The gentle flow of sextile, artistic and spiritual resonance. As Venus makes its way through Virgo, it forms a harmonious sextile with Neptune in Pisces, casting a soft, inspiring light over Russia's domestic and cultural spheres. This aspect is a celebration of artistic and cultural expression, a time when the beauty of the soul finds its way into the fabric of national life. Artistic and cultural focus, celebrating national identity. Venus, the planet of beauty, harmony, and love, aligns with Neptune, the planet of dreams, spirituality, and the collective unconscious. Together, they encourage a deep focus on artistic and cultural activities, particularly those connected to the home and national identity. In Russia, this could manifest as a surge in cultural projects that seek to enhance or celebrate the nation's rich heritage. Imagine the unveiling of public art projects, the staging of significant cultural events, or initiatives aimed at preserving and promoting Russian traditions. This is a time when the nation's cultural fabric is woven with threads of beauty and spiritual resonance, creating a tapestry that reflects the soul of Russia. Spiritual and emotional connections, unity through art. Neptune's influence brings a sense of spirituality and emotional depth to these cultural expressions. The public may find themselves particularly moved by artistic projects that evoke a sense of unity and collective identity. Whether through music, art, literature, or public ceremonies, the cultural initiatives supported by this aspect will resonate deeply with the people, fostering a sense of pride and connection. For the government, this is an ideal time to promote initiatives that strengthen the cultural and spiritual foundations of the nation. The arts become a bridge, connecting the people with their heritage and with each other. Domestic beautification, creating spaces of harmony. Venus in Virgo also emphasizes the beauty of the practical and the well-ordered. This is a time to focus on beautifying domestic environments, whether through public projects aimed at enhancing cities and towns, or through private efforts to create harmonious living spaces. The influence of Venus encourages attention to detail, making this an excellent period for projects that seek to improve the aesthetic and emotional quality of Russian homes and communities. August 30th, 2024, a day of innovation and public focus. Sun at 7 degrees 7 Virgo trines natal Uranus, 7 degree Pisces, 4th house. The embrace of innovation, a new dawn for domestic affairs. As the sun glows in meticulous Virgo, it forms a harmonious trine with Uranus, the planet of innovation and change, positioned in Pisces within Russia's 4th house. This celestial dance between the sun and Uranus sets the stage for a day ripe with opportunities for progress, particularly in the realm of domestic affairs and national identity. The energies at play encourage the nation to embrace new ideas, to innovate, and to reform, turning the wheel of progress forward. Innovation in domestic affairs, building the future. Picture Russia's heart, the very essence of its homeland, undergoing a transformation as new ideas and technologies are introduced to the fabric of daily life. This trine between the Sun and Uranus suggests that the country is poised to take bold steps forward in its domestic policies. These could include modernizing infrastructure, improving internal security, or even redefining what it means to be Russian in the modern world. The 4th house, governing home and national identity, is deeply influenced by this aspect, suggesting that the changes implemented during this time could have a lasting impact. The traditional gives way to the innovative, as Russia seeks to align its rich heritage with the demands of the future. Support for technological advancements, embracing the new. Uranus, the harbinger of technological breakthroughs, finds a willing partner in the Sun's Virgo energy, which is all about practicality and efficiency. This trine suggests that Russia may find success in adopting new technologies or implementing innovative solutions to its domestic challenges. Whether it's through enhancing homeland security with cutting-edge technology or improving public infrastructure, the nation is set to benefit from a forward-thinking approach that embraces change rather than resists it. Reform and progress, a vision for the future. The harmonious relationship between the Sun and Uranus also supports reform and progress. Russia may seize this moment to introduce policies that reflect a more modern and progressive vision for the country. These reforms could lead to significant breakthroughs in domestic policy or even in how Russia perceives its own identity on the global stage. The energies of the trine encourage a blending of the old with the new, creating a dynamic path forward that honors the past while embracing the future. Moon at 21 degrees Cancer conjuncts natal midheaven, 17 degrees Virgo, 10th house. The power of public perception, leadership in the spotlight. As the moon moves through nurturing Cancer, it forms a powerful conjunction with Russia's natal midheaven, positioned in the 10th house of public image and leadership. This aspect brings the nation's leadership into sharp focus, highlighting the emotional connection between the government and the people. It's a time when public opinion and governmental actions are intricately linked, with each influencing the other in profound ways. Focus on public image, the weight of perception. Imagine the eyes of the nation and the world turning towards Russia's leadership, scrutinizing every move, every decision. The moon's conjunction with the midheaven suggests that emotions will play a significant role in shaping how the government is perceived. Public opinion could be swayed by the actions and decisions made during this time, making it crucial for the leadership to be in tune with the people's needs and expectations. This is a moment when the government's public image is under the spotlight, where decisions made could either strengthen the bond with the public or create distance. The emotional resonance of the moon in Cancer, combined with the midheaven's focus on leadership, makes it a time of heightened sensitivity and responsibility. Public and government alignment, a unified vision. The conjunction also indicates a strong alignment between the government's goals and the public's expectations. This is a favorable period for decisions that reinforce national unity and public confidence. The leadership may find that its actions are not only well received, but also deeply resonate with the emotional and psychological needs of the nation. The alignment suggests that now is the time for the government to engage in actions that will fortify the bond between the leaders and the led, ensuring that the public feels connected to and supportive of the nation's direction. August 31st, 2024, navigating tensions and expectations. Sun at 8005 Virgo quincunx natal Uranus 70 Pisces 4th house. The uneasy balance, adaptation amidst domestic disruptions. As August draws to a close, the Sun in Virgo forms a quincunx with Uranus in Pisces, creating an aspect of tension and the need for adjustment. This alignment shines a light on Russia's domestic affairs, internal security, and national identity, areas governed by the 4th house. The quincunx is not a smooth aspect. It's one that demands flexibility, creativity, and a willingness to adapt to unexpected changes. Unexpected challenges in domestic affairs, the winds of change. Picture a sudden storm sweeping across the landscape, disrupting the usual calm and forcing a swift response. This quincunx suggests that Russia may face unexpected challenges in its domestic sphere, issues that arise suddenly, challenging the nation's stability and requiring quick, innovative solutions. Whether these challenges come in the form of policy upheavals, security concerns, or shifts in national identity, the need for adaptation is clear. The influence of Uranus, with its penchant for disruption, means that these challenges could upend the status quo, forcing Russia to reconsider its approach to domestic matters. The question becomes, how will the nation's leadership respond? Will they resist the winds of change, or will they harness them to propel the nation forward? Need for flexibility and adaptation, the call for innovation. The quincunx between the Sun and Uranus is an aspect that demands adjustment. It's not enough to hold steady. This is a time when Russia's leadership must be flexible, willing to make swift changes to maintain stability. The challenges that arise may require new policies, particularly those related to homeland security or national identity, to be implemented quickly and effectively. Innovation becomes a necessity rather than a choice. The ability to adapt, to think creatively, and act decisively will be key in navigating this period of uncertainty. Potential for disruption, embracing the unexpected. Uranus is known for its ability to disrupt and surprise. This aspect could bring about changes that challenge Russia's traditional structures or beliefs. These disruptions, however, are not inherently negative. They could present opportunities for growth and modernization. If Russia is willing to adapt and embrace change, these unexpected events could lead to progress and renewal. The Sun in Virgo brings a practical, detail-oriented approach to this aspect, but it must be balanced with Uranus's unpredictable energy. The challenge lies in integrating new technologies or approaches into the country's domestic policies in a way that enhances security and supports long-term national interests. Moon at 3°33 Leo opposes natal ascendant 5° Scorpio. The clash of perceptions, national identity under scrutiny. As the moon enters the bold and expressive sign of Leo, it forms an opposition with Russia's natal ascendant in Scorpio. This aspect creates tension between how the nation perceives itself and how it is viewed by others. The opposition highlights a potential conflict between public image and personal identity, a clash that could lead to a period of introspection and reassessment. Tension between public image and identity, the mirror of perception. Imagine standing before a mirror that reflects not only your face, but also how others see you, a reflection that may not match your self-image. This opposition suggests that Russia might face a period of tension between its national identity and how it is perceived on the global stage. The ascendant, representing outward-facing identity, may conflict with the moon's influence over public sentiment and emotional responses. This aspect indicates that there could be a disconnect between Russia's self-perception and the way it is viewed by the international community. The leadership may need to address this gap, finding ways to align the nation's internal sense of pride with its external image. Public perception versus national goals, the search for alignment. The emotional energy of the moon in Leo, a sign that thrives on recognition and pride, may clash with the more intense and secretive nature of Scorpio on the ascendant. This could lead to conflicts in how Russia's leadership projects the nation's image versus the actual goals and desires of the country. The opposition suggests that a reassessment of national policies or public relations strategies might be necessary to better align the nation's internal identity with its external image. This is a time for reflection, where the leadership may need to consider how best to bridge the gap between public perception and national goals, ensuring that Russia's true identity is accurately managing external perceptions, the diplomatic dance. The opposition between the moon and the ascendant also underscores the importance of managing external perceptions. How Russia is viewed by other nations could play a significant role during this period, influencing diplomatic relations and international standing. The leadership may need to take steps to address how the nation is perceived, potentially through diplomatic efforts, public statements, or policy adjustments. The goal will be to align Russia's internal pride with its external image, creating a cohesive identity that resonates both domestically and internationally. The cosmic journey continues, with each day bringing new challenges and opportunities. How will Russia's leaders guide the nation through these turbulent waters? Stay with us as we explore the next steps on this journey through the stars.